my pleasure to introduce Joe Campo.
Thank you very much. If I wasn't here today, I would be in the South Bronx, actually, and it's nice to be here. Just so you know, when I first started going into the South Bronx, it was like 1988 or '89, and it was pretty bad. It was very bad. And when I used to drive in there, Father Benedict asked me one time. He said, "How is it that you come in here and you kind of like just come in? Everybody else is afraid to come in." I said, "Father Benedict, it's very, very easy. What I do is I open all my windows, I blast Spanish music." And he laughed, but it's the truth. I get out of the car, I'm under 5'5", I have dark complexion, nobody bothers me. I kind of fit right in. I struck up a relationship with Father Benedict. I'm one of the fortunate people in the world to have worked with and know a saint. He was a saint. And for those who got close to him know that. So I'm very, very grateful to the friars that they would let us make this film, Outcasts. You know, when I first also met Father Benedict, I really didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I had a conversion experience, and he said to me, well, actually one of the other friars said to me, "Go speak to Father Benedict and see what he says." I go to Father Benedict. I really didn't know him that well at that time. And he goes, "What's going on?" Just like that. I looked at him. I said, "Well, he's a character." You know? I said, "I want to give up everything that I've ever done in my life. And I want to work with the poor. I think I'm crazy." He said, "You are. But this time you're batting for the right team." And you know, when he said it, it really touched me. Like, there was no fear. There was no fear. And I knew it was good. And he said another thing to me that I also use all the time when I'm working with the young men at the St. Francis House. Don't look back. And I never did. I've been the director of the St. Francis House now for 26 years. Went like that. I have a young man living in the house right now who's 18 years old. He calls me Grandpa. I raised his father and two of his uncles. No one ever saw this coming. I didn't know. I just took the next step. And that next step was always in line with Christ, because the home is a Christ-centered home. You know, Father said to me one time, "How do you get all this done so well?" I said, "We have the Blessed Sacrament in the house." He goes, "Oh, that's right." Christ-centered home. The young men that come to us need help, but not unlike anyone else. I mean, everybody knows somebody in their family. Everybody's struggling. That, you know, whether they have a drug problem, an alcohol problem, who knows? This is the world we live in, folks. This is why I made this film, Outcasts. Don't blink if you get a chance to watch Outcasts, because it's very, very graphic. It's very, very real. But I think it's very, very important. And the other side of the film is hope. Great hope. You know, I've had the opportunity to make a few other films and travel around the world. When I was in Africa, I met a leper colony. I didn't meet one depressed person. I met people who were suffering. I met people who were starving. I met people who were dying. But while I was there, I never met a depressed person. I couldn't believe it. You see, they had something that we in the United States don't necessarily have all the time, and that's hope. And I'm hoping through our message, through the film, through the St. Francis House, what the friars do, that what you see, what you know is hope. Because you need that hope, I need that hope, we all need that hope. It doesn't matter where you come from. Makes no difference, we all suffer. But the poor have taught us how to suffer. The poor have taught us how to pray. You know, we look like we have everything together. We do. You know, we have nice clothes, nice homes, nice families. We look like, but we don't, that's not necessarily true. And, you know, we have an opportunity to look within ourselves, pray, and look within yourself. People ask me all the time, you know, they're kind of like, well, you know, you travel to all of these places. I said, start in your home. Don't do what we do. Go to your home. Take care of your families. Really take care of your families, because no one else is going to take care of your family. That's for sure. And some of the third world countries that I've been in, family is everything. Everything. I saw 7-year-old little boys and girls walk 3.5 miles for a gallon of water. If that doesn't change you, you've got water going through your veins. All I got to do is walk into my kitchen and turn on the faucet. I could get hot or cold. If I turn them both on, I got lukewarm. We're living. We got it. So, working with the poor is an education. I see the poor, at least the population that I work with, they're victims. They're total victims. This 18-year-old young man that's in the house that calls me grandpa is one of the finest young men I have ever met in my life. He just never had a chance. He just never had a chance. Not only did we take care of his 2 uncles, but his mother and her twin sister as well over the last 20-something years. So when he calls me grandpa, I kind of like it. I have to tell you, I consider it an honor. An honor. There's another young man that lives in a house. He's downstairs. He's 30 years old. I met him when he was 15 at a drug rehab when I was a counselor there. He's back. You see, sometimes we have the repeats. They just come back and come back and come back. And the best thing you can do sometimes is make him comfortable. I think that's what God wants me to do. Be there for him and make him comfortable. I don't cook for him. I don't pay his rent. He cooks, he pays his rent. He went to school, but he's depressed. So depressed that I have to knock on his door, and it's very late at 10 o'clock in my house. That's late. And I have to get him out of bed. If I don't, he will stay there. His idea of a good day is he got up and took a shower and then went back to bed. He did something. It's very, very sad. It's very, very sad. I've been traveling a lot and I got this dry throat. Excuse me. There was this young boy, Matthew, who came into the house. Him and his brother both came in around the same time. And I was having a problem with both of them. They just would not pick up after themselves no matter what. See, mommy doesn't live at the St. Francis house. So you got to pick up your own socks. You got to pick up your own underwear. You got to make your own bed. It doesn't happen. It's not what we do there. You do it. It's a masculine. You've got to do it. And they can do it. They just don't want to do it. But after you make them do it, they're proud that they did it. It's amazing. Every young man at the St. Francis house has got an Italian love tap. Right in the back of the head. It's a love tap. They like it. They sincerely appreciate it. I said to Matthew, let me explain something to you. The reason you don't pick up after yourself, it's very simple. You never picked up your toys when you were a kid. No one ever made you pick up your toys. He said, Joe, I never had any toys. He never did. Talk about humility. Talk about you think you know everything until you find out the hard way, if you will. It was a lesson. It was one of those lessons that when I was listening to your homily about the grace that comes through the suffering, you know. And through that suffering, what also comes through with the grace is wisdom. You can't have one without the other. If you want wisdom, you're going to suffer. I pray for wisdom. How else can we help these young people? and read the gospel every single day and apply it to our lives. Every single day. And when you miss that day, it's at least 5 decades of a rosary. Come on. You know, or mass. I've learned so much from the poor, and I appreciate them so much in my life that I believe that God put them there for us to help them. This is our own way of salvation. Whether you're helping them, through the St. Francis House or a monetary value that you can donate, or just, calling a homeless person by their name. I found that a lot of homeless people, when they come into the shelter, they're not really there for food. This is America. You can get food anywhere. If you ask enough people for food in New York, someone's going to give it to you. It's a numbers game, and they know that. So it's not really about that as much as it is companionship and about love and forgiveness. A lot of the homeless people just want to be loved. That's it. That's it. They want you to love them. They want you to respect them. They want to feel human. This is my own experience. When I asked, Brother Ken, what should I speak about? He said, speak about your own experience. This is it, pretty much. It's really not rocket science. It's treating other people as Christ would. It's really simple. I'm a third order Franciscan, so I live the Franciscan spirituality. So for me, we bring everything down to the lowest common denominator, if you will. We don't have to figure everything out. I don't have to have I don't have to go, into some theological or something. I just know that the person in front of me is suffering. And God has given me, He's given it to me, just like He's given it to you, the grace and the ability to do something. Well, at the end of my life, what I want to hear is, well done. I want to hear that. I'm going to work for it. And it's also a great joy. When you give, homeless people or poor people, like if it's Christmas or something like that, and you're with the friars and you're giving out gifts, that's Christmas. Try to do that in the summertime when it's 90 degrees. Guess what? It's still Christmas. Anytime you give something to them, they are joyful. Now, we have the population out there that have mental problems, there's people I know when I say good morning and they go, don't tell me what to do. Okay, I won't tell you what to do, But I'm still wishing them a good morning, And forgiveness, I think, is the big one. It's the big one because we all know someone in our lives, that we have to forgive or they have to forgive us. It just happens to us, Work on it. It's Easter. Very important. Because forgiveness is freedom. And Christ taught us that from the cross. That was the lesson. That was it. So, next time you see a homeless person, don't think of me, think of them. Maybe you want to remember what I said. That's fine, But think of them. And I promise you, that if you do, you will find something awakening in your own heart. You will find a new chamber in there. And that chamber will grow. It will grow. But you have to feed it. And honestly, what I'm saying is not easy. It's the hard way, but you can do it. Thank you all. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. You reminded me when Father Benedict told you that you were crazy. Father Benedict was a psychologist, and he used to do the psychological testing for the brothers if they were interested in joining religious life. You go through a psychological testing, and his response usually was, "Yeah, he's crazy enough to be a brother." So, but your message that St. Francis House is Christ-centered. I think that's a Christ-centered house. That's a tremendous message for all of us, because that's really what we're trying to do in terms of a Catholic school is to educate our students to bring Christ into their houses, for parents, and that's why we have the communion breakfast, is that you could bring Christ into your house, and your house becomes that Christ-centered house. As well as starting at home. You don't have to go too far to find suffering, to find those that need hope, to find people to respond to, and to start at our very own homes. Creating that companionship and that fellowship that we all need, because we are all human, and we all need to respond to each other as human beings. And your films so much bring that out in terms of the humanity, the human experience, the outcasts, how these are human faces, these are souls, these are men and women created in the image and likeness of God. So it's a great reminder to us, and certainly a great reminder for us as we go into Holy Week today. So thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing with us your experience. And just to say a few more thank yous, thank you to Brother Michael, Father Philip, and everyone involved with the liturgy today. It was a beautiful Palm Sunday liturgy for us. Thank you very much. And the music was outstanding. Thank you, Mr. Basil, Mr. Bursig, Ms. Palomino, Mr. Dorian Consortium. If you get a chance, look at the Old Testament scripture projects out there. Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Moran, Mr. Finn, for all of your work in getting students involved in liturgy today and on those projects outside. This is wonderful. And certainly Pat Shefflin and her cafeteria staff. It was a phenomenal breakfast, and so many people were served it so quickly. So thank you to our cafeteria staff. Finally, to Mr. Brennan, Mr. Kahn, Mr. Walsh, Mrs. Rodney, and all our SAL students who provided service today, and will continue to be working doing dishes when you leave. So, thank you for all that. So, to conclude our breakfast, I just ask Father Philip, our president, to lead us in the benediction.
These tights are windows too. What? The tights are hers too.
As we put ourselves in the presence of God during our liturgy today, we ask that it would be with us throughout the week, and that the presence of God, in this, particularly in Holy Week, would make us more gentle people, more generous people, people who know the needs of others and respond to them as Jesus responds to us. And so may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and give you peace. Amen. Amen. Go in peace for a nice day. Amen.